Alright, so you've just bought the Tec Bean and you're looking at the instruction manual and it's not very descriptive as to what you need to do. So I wanted to show real quick because I had some trouble figuring it out at first, and now that I've looked at it, it makes sense. So I wanted to forward this information to anyone else. So you've got your LCD here for your backup camera. I've already mounted it to the cowling for the front of the car. I did that separately because it was a lot easier to do it inside the house rather than trying to do it all in the car. So as you can see, I've put 4 bolts on the mounting hardware that's inside there, and I've utilized one of the cubby holes for all the mounting hardware, so it's going to look pretty nice and be down low. This cable comes out of the back. This is for the input to the backup camera, and it's got a corresponding plug that plugs in here. Pretty simple there. And then you've got some wires coming out here. You've got a couple RCA jacks and some power wires. Your black and your red go to power the unit. You can plug those into any 12-volt power. They can be on at all times. There's no switching needed for those. So you can, if you can find an area of your fuse box, your cigarette lighter, as long as it has the load capacity, then you can attach those positive and negatives to anywhere you want. Straight to the battery is also fine, but not recommended. I recommend finding a fused output. This brown one is the switch. This is what turns the unit on. Some people will put it on when they turn the reverse lights on. So when you put it in reverse, your reverse lights kick on, and this, when that gets power, when that brown wire gets power, it'll turn the machine on and go into the rear view mode. Now, I'm going to skip the middle cable for a moment and go to the power for the camera itself. So there's a small red and black power cable that goes to the camera. So you're going to find a power output, 12 volts, for this as well. You can either hook it up to your backup as well, or you can hook it up to a 12 volt constant. Either way is fine. The camera then plugs into the power, and the camera plugs into the video source. Now the trick is this one here. This one's kind of confusing if you're not sure what it does. This red cable runs along the black one and then back out here. It piggybacks this line, so you don't have to run 2 wires from the back of your car to the front of your car if you decide to hook it up to the reverse lights. And what you can do is, once you've got your camera hooked up, sorry, I didn't realize my strap was in the way there. You can hook this up to a positive that comes on when your reverse light comes on. So if you're familiar with how electronics work, and you can utilize the reverse light lead from your tail light, then you can piggyback that onto this lead here, go all the way across it, and then hook it into the brown lead. So that way the unit turns on when you've utilized the rear, the reverse light. So this does not have to be plugged into a power source. This does not have to be plugged into a red lead. It's confusing because it's red. They really should have made this brown to correspond with this. So if you hook it up in that way, it should be fine. So you've got regular 12 volt lead to power the machine at all times, whether you're in reverse or not, because it does have a USB function where it can look at pictures, play music through your radio, etc. That's what these guys are for. These guys are for black and red. This one gets hooked to the power source of your choice. If you use the reverse lights, it'll kick on when the reverse lights kick on. If you would rather just look at it all the time, you could hook this up to a toggle switch or some other method of turning it on. But once this one gets turned on, it assumes you want to look at the backup camera, and that's what it'll turn to automatically. So once again, this is a piggyback line. Do not need to hook it to power. Hook it to the brown lead here. Hook this end to your reverse light. Hook this to a constant power or your reverse light power. It doesn't matter, as long as it's on when this needs to look at your rear view. Hopefully that answers the question about where these power lines go, and hopefully I helped somebody else out.